Hey, 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 everyone. So good to see everybody tonight. What a great, beautiful evening, wherever you are in the world, whether you are in the United States or in Europe or just wherever overseas. So glad that you're able to join me. And so as we are just waiting for everybody to come on, I want you to type in your name, where you're from, and tell me, how did you win today? How did you seize today? What is the one thing that you can say, oh, yes, this is how I won today? This is what I celebrate today. So I want you to type that in. And of course, if you're looking at the replay, I want you to put in hashtag replay whenever you look at it. And just again, let us know where you're from. And for that day that you're looking at it, and you're putting hashtag replay, go ahead and type that in. But I am super excited that you're on here, that you're joining me, because I have a very special treat tonight. I call it a heart conversation about your heart health, or whatever it is that she wants to share. So I have Mary on here, and Mary's going to pop on. She's going to introduce herself. But Mary is from Atlanta. We met each other back, I think it was around November.
Around Thanksgiving, yeah.
Around Thanksgiving. And I personally think that we hit it off.
I do too.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. I had some really powerful conversations. And of course, when I found out that what her background is and exactly what she does, I just thought she would be perfect for our soiree in Georgia, because the one thing that's so important with Festa della Donna and everything we do, we really believe, Mary, in building the whole woman. In other words, we like to tackle every area of our lives, because I believe in living a life by design. And when we live a life by design, we're living a life in harmony. And
Yes.
that means that we need to feed, we need to amplify every areas of our life. So that's our health and wellness, that's our celebration, that's our finances, our business, our careers, that's our spirituality, our relationships, our personal developments.
Yes.
Everything goes into living a life by design, as how God has created us to live in the first place, And I love it, because a lot of people talk about living in balance, but I just believe in living in harmony in every part. So one of the things I love to talk about when it comes to Festa della Donna and the people, the community we serve, which are mainly women, but we do have men that join our community as well.
Excuse me.
Fine, because we're all human beings, right? But I love to talk about our health, especially our heart health. What is that we do, and just our well-being, in us being healthy in the first place. So that's tonight, guys. That's what our conversation is going to be about. We're not going to keep you very long, but I do ask you, as you come in, go ahead and type in the chat so we can see you. We see Ashley from Brooklyn, and Ashley said her win today is is finishing her laundry. That is great. Can I tell y'all? Let me listen. We're looking at any wins, y'all. It could be a small win. It could be what's your win? Go ahead and type it. Finishing laundry, that's a win, because I know how my laundry stacks up. Okay, so I'm celebrating you, Ashley. Go ahead. My win today, y'all. It has been an action-packed day today, from the beginning of the day, Mary, to where I am right now. But my win today is that I was able to go in, and I was able to join Bible study right before I come on. And I just feel that that's, because sometimes it's like rushing and trying to get there and trying to do everything. And in Bible study tonight, my husband was talking about just connecting with nature and the importance of that, and how you see God in that. So that's my win today. That's my win. David is joining us from Delaware. Hey, David.
Hi, David.
Yeah, so good, so good, so good. So wherever you are at any of our Facebook channels, make sure that you go ahead and heart Mary up. Let When you like something, heart it up, heart it up, heart it up. And listen, this is never a monologue. It's always a dialogue. So we want you to comment in the chat. We want you to bring up a point. If there's something that you don't understand and you want us to elaborate on it more, put it in the chat, y'all, so we can see it, because this is a dialogue. It's not a monologue, and we don't have the answers for everything, but what we do have, this is what we're going to give you. So tonight, Mary, I want you to tell us a little bit about yourself
Okay.
and just tell us what you are doing in the world and how you're serving. Yeah. And so, and what, just a little bit, just a taste, y'all. We just want to give you a taste of what you're going to get at the soiree, because if you want the whole meal, you got to come. You got to get your ticket and you got to come. You have to invest in yourself. So, Mary, go ahead and take it over.
Well, first of all, my win today is being here with everybody that's on. Thank you so much for having me, and I'm so excited. I think when I met Esther, I told her one of my passions is to talk to people in the community, because I've worked in hospitals for over 40 years. I am a nurse, and I've been in cardiology, taking care of heart patients the majority of that time. But I've had several jobs where I was expected to go out in the community. And I've always said that if I could make a living that way, I probably would, because it is my passion. I taught for a little while, taught young people in college, but really people in the community are often so interested. So what I like to do is, well, let me go back and tell you a little bit about myself. So I didn't grow up in Atlanta. I grew up in rural middle Georgia. So I haven't been a city girl all my life, but since the early 80s, I have been.
So where's rural middle Georgia? Where's that?
Oh, it's a little town, Wrightsville, Georgia.
Okay. All right.
There's actually a famous football player from that area. He played for the University of Georgia, but we don't have to talk about him. Because now he's a politician, and I don't care for those. But so I moved to Atlanta after I'd been out of school for about 5 years, and just met my husband here in the late 80s, and we got married, and I have two adult young men, one 29 and one 32. So they live in the area also, so I get to see them, not as much as I'd like to, but a good bit. So that's really nice. But I just started a new job where I'm working from home, actually, so I'm not doing patient care anymore. So that's kind of an adjustment for me. Yeah. But so I've been going out for at least the last 15 or 20 years. I've been going out in the community, and I talk to all kinds of groups. I talk to a college group. I talk to civic organizations, church groups, the county library, the county senior citizens groups, just whatever they need, several women's groups. And so I like to, before I go somewhere and talk, find out really what they're interested in, because I can spit out all the facts and tell you all that kind of stuff, without even thinking about it. But the main thing is I want people to know about heart health, what it is, what it means, how it impacts our lives, not just us physically, but us emotionally too, and how our emotions impact our heart health too. And know what puts you at risk, not just the physical things, but the emotional things too. Stress is huge, really is. And let's face it, we're all under a lot of stress today. We really are.
I love what you just said, Mary, that it's not just physical, because many times, when we think of heart health, we are thinking of, physical, right?
Sure.
But I love how you said it's also the emotional, not just stress, but the other emotional factors as well that goes into our heart health. So what I'm thinking, it's the physical, but it's what you eat, what you don't eat, but it's also the emotions that tie up into how healthy your heart is. Can you just kind of talk about that just a little?
While you were talking, I was just sitting here thinking, it's we give ourselves such a hard time when we don't do things the way that we think the world believes we should do them, or maybe the way someone in our lives think we should do them. And that affects our heart health too. So those sorts of things are so very, very important. So I'm hoping that people can learn, like I said, not only what physically affects their heart and what they can do as far as taking care of themselves, but just so many other aspects too. And of course, now I will say that I always, so if you come to the soiree, I'll give you an assignment before you get there. How about that?
Yeah, yeah, that's
I
good.
always teach people. I want people to know what to do. I get into a lot of groups where, especially like the college age or some younger women, where they think, well, this didn't have anything to do with me. I'm too young.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
we all have parents. We all have grandparents. We all have aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters. And believe me, I've had patients. The youngest patient I ever had that had a heart attack was a 16-year-old.
wow. 16.
So
Did you
16
just
years
say
old.
1-6?
Yes,
Wow.
from cold medicine.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Overuse of cold medicine is what they determined.
Wow.
So there's just so many aspects, but I want everyone to know how to take care of the people around you too.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so I always end with how to, if you're in a situation where someone has a cardiac arrest, that's also one of my big passions, what to do. So
Yeah.
your assignment, if you're coming to the soiree, is
If
to,
you're coming, when you're coming. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
when you're
when
coming,
you're coming.
you got to
Yeah.
be there,
You gotta be.
is to get in that building and find out where their AED is, or if they have
Ooh,
one. That's
that's
an
good.
assignment.
That's good. That's good. That's a really good assignment because I have a couple of facilities that I have and we have the what do you call it, the
AED.
AD, yeah.
Yeah.
And at first, this is years ago. I was thinking, do we really need one? It's like, oh no. And we're an early childhood center. And
Oh
of
yeah.
course we need one, even for the children, for the adults that's in there. But it's amazing because I do think that we take our heart health for granted. And
We
even
do.
with anxiety, you know
Oh
what
yeah.
I mean? Yes, Juliet, AED, exactly.
Mhm.
That's a good point because every facility should have a AED equipment and someone trained on how to use it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just thinking about the anxiety, especially now as we are still in COVID, but are coming out of COVID, and we're trying to get back to life. I think we're trying to get back to life as normal. That alone brings anxiety because we can't go back to the way we were.
Right. Right.
You understand that that's the past, and now we have a new
Yeah.
normal.
We're still anxious
We're
about it.
so
Yeah.
anxious,
Yeah.
and many times that affects our heart as well. And so while our focus has been in the past few years as COVID being, that's just, killing people or people getting sick from that. But there were also a lot of people that had heart issues simply because of the anxiety
Yes. Yes.
you know,
Right.
related
Right.
to that. So it's amazing how important we take that for granted. Yeah.
They might have had like an underlying issue that they didn't know about. And anxiety causes our heart rate to go up, can cause our blood pressure to go up. And if you already have even maybe just a minor issue you don't even know about yet, it could bring that to the forefront. And
Yeah.
the other thing that happened during COVID too, and everyone saw this, every healthcare provider that I know, is yes, people are always stressing that it'll happen again.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't know who the Facebook user is because sometimes it'll give us the name and other
okay,
times they would. So if you wanna
yeah.
put your name,
Um,
yeah.
but people quit coming to the hospital
Mhm.
because they were afraid they'd get COVID if they went to the hospital, where
Oh
honestly
gosh,
was
hold on. One
probably the safest place to be. I'll be honest with you.
no, I wanna go. Yeah, yeah.
I felt more comfortable in the hospital than I did going to the grocery store, honestly.
Listen, out of transparency, Mary, honestly, I didn't even go to the grocery store. And
Yeah, okay.
yeah, I didn't. I didn't go to the grocery store, definitely at the hospital. I knew when the doctor said you couldn't come by, I didn't have any problem yet. You could talk to me on the phone,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Jonathan, he's the one, my husband, he's the one that really made the trips to the grocery store.
well, I would get anxious if I didn't go, if I did the order online and all that kind of stuff, and I
Yeah.
didn't trust anybody else in the house going. So
Yeah, yeah, well, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think one of the reasons I did that as well is because, going into an early childhood environment, even if I may go into my office, you're around children, you're around those different
yeah,
things. And so,
yeah,
you just really want to be as healthy and as careful as possible. So I
Sure,
have to say
sure.
that was one. I know, and because of all of that, I just know for myself, there were times that I felt as if my anxiety was rising. And
Sure. Oh,
honestly,
yes.
yeah, and my heart would just start to beat really fast. And at one point I was getting nervous because it's like, oh no, I couldn't be having a heart attack, or I couldn't be, you know what I mean? And
Yes.
so having to really do deep breaths to just really bring
Yes.
myself down.
Yes, you do. You have to focus and be mindful.
Yeah.
It just,
Yeah.
because and step away. What helps me is I just kind of, I don't want to say step away from myself, but step away from what's around me for sure.
Mhm.
And just kind of focus on one thing. Like you said, take some deep breaths.
Yeah.
Um, and I can't tell you how many people I've also seen come who maybe they have those feelings and maybe they're at risk for a heart. Yes, they help me too. Ashley, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
they is their heart starts pounding and they think, well, I'm too healthy. We talk
Yeah.
about this. People deny everything, and especially after what we've been through in the last 2 years. Like we said, they don't want to come. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. So,
Yeah.
Chef Sherry,
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
anxious. Yeah, they do. I'm sure. I'm sure. And we're gonna. One of the things I'm going to talk about is not just how our emotional health affects us, but the things that we may not think about that put us at risk.
Yeah.
So that's really, really important too, because if you don't know what your risk is,
Exactly.
then you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't know if you need to do anything. You don't know what to do.
Yeah. I'm super excited about that because it's so important for us to know exactly what our risks are and
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
know I need to know that because sometimes I think I know, but sometimes, I look at some things that maybe I don't know,
Mhm.
or sometimes, if I get a pain in my arm, is that so there's all these things that go on in my head many times when it comes to my heart. And so I'm really interested in that. I think it's so important, especially when in today's environment that we're in, we're all so busy. We're moving, 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 moving,
Yes.
moving, moving.
Mhm.
Our sleep is limited. This is limited. That, and so we're moving. And so, how do we really know when to pull back
Yeah.
and say, let's look at our heart health. Let's look at our health period. Let's make sure that we are taking those deep breaths, that we're doing some self-care and some of these things. And that's why I'm so glad you're coming, that you can share with us the things that we could be aware of and do naturally. It's not going to cost us a lot of money.
Right.
It's
Right.
the things that we add to our everyday
Yeah.
life.
I
Our
hope that I'll be able to share some of those things that you can do. I'm really excited about doing it. I really am.
yeah.
I have to share one of the reasons that we
That Sherry says, Chef BC Cherry says, "Hi, Mary. We're so excited to receive this wealth of information."
well, I'm very excited to be able to share it too. I really am. A lot of people, like I said, they don't want to put anybody out.
Yeah.
They're like you said, they're not, and they might not take care of themselves because they don't want to bother anybody. One of my favorite stories to tell people is you always want to. I don't want everybody to run to the emergency room for everything, and I'm going to talk to you about what the differences are.
Yeah.
Not just because you feel this way, but you can tell the difference.
Yeah.
I have a very close relative who thought he was having a heart attack. And he went to the emergency room, and with his symptoms, they worked him up, put him through all these tests. He was there for a little over 24 hours. And he called me actually crying because he felt like he was putting everyone to so much trouble. And
Oh,
that it just broke my heart. I'm like, you've got to take care of yourself. I
yeah.
mean, this might just be a warning shot,
Yeah.
and hopefully that's what it is. And
Yeah.
it was.
Oh, good.
Uh,
Good. Yeah.
so I just want people to be aware, and I'm hoping that when you come to the soiree, we'll have a good time. And I want I love audiences, people who are listening, being part of it, and we can do lots of different things. So we'll just kind of go with the flow
Oh
and see what
yeah.
happens when everybody gets there.
Yep. So again, I'm excited. Judy said we need this information more than ever.
Um,
Excited to hear from you, Mary. Oh
Thanks,
yeah. So
Judy.
you see, they're excited, and as people are listening, we're so excited because this is a wealth of information, as someone said in the chat. It is, and so and it's powerful information. We want to surround ourselves with information that's going to help us live a healthier, better life, a
Yes.
life of abundance. And abundance is that whole life piece. So that's looking at your health and wellness as well. And so I'm excited that you are coming. So y'all, the soiree in Georgia, it's right outside of Atlanta in Beaufort, Georgia. It is at Shea Bliss in historic
Love
Beaufort.
that name.
Right. That yeah, yeah, no, it's a nice name, right? Um, nice name. And the link is right here to purchase your tickets. The link is there to purchase your tickets. Space is limited. We're only 2 weeks and 2 days away from the event. So you cannot wait. You need to get your tickets right now because they're not going to be. We're not doing tickets at the door. Okay. We're not doing tickets the day before because we need to know exactly how many people are coming in so we could be 100% prepared for you. So there's different ticket pricing levels based on what you want and how much you want. So I want to encourage you to invest in yourself and come and get this information. You're going to have a great time. It's May 20th, which is Friday. We begin Friday morning at 10 a.m. And then we have a break, and then we come back Friday afternoon at 7 p.m. for the celebration. Oh, there's the dog. So cute.
Sorry, he took it as long as he could.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. It's okay. I we have one too, so that's okay. That's okay. But yeah, so you come on in, and then of course we're together again on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4. Powerful people that are coming to just share with you and to pour into you.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear everyone else. I
Oh
can't wait
yeah,
to hear
they're
everyone else.
they're just phenomenal. So
So
we'll be surrounded by phenomenal women. We'll have an opportunity to make new friends, to network, to meet someone else from a totally different environment, probably culture and everything. And that's the beauty of all
yes.
of this. And then you have an opportunity if you want to invest in the VIP to where you will actually have lunching, a special lunch, a VIP lunch with the speakers to where again you can ask them one-on-one questions, get their insights on something. So I am super 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 excited. And y'all don't forget the Friday night is the all white party. Ladies, you y'all know we like to wear all white and look all cute and everything. So come, be ready to receive, be ready to be poured into, be ready to laugh, be ready to cry, be ready to celebrate, be ready to dance, be ready to eat some good food, be ready, you know. And so the reason, Mary, why I'm doing these power jams and I'm calling it set it up because I'm setting you up to win, you know. And one of the
Yes.
ways that you're going to win in 2022 and beyond 2022 is just attending the power jams, but also coming to the soirees so you can get more information. You can get the tools that's needed for every area of our life. And so I'm excited for you to be there. We'll be there. We'll be ready. We are ready.
Yay.
You
I'll
know,
be ready. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm so excited.
and thank you for accepting. And what this is, they have a word that says she ready, she ready. So yeah, be ready. I mean, let's see. Chef says, wow. Chef Sherry Bliss said, wow, one-on-one. It's going to be phenomenal. It's going, yeah, one-on-one conversation. So whatever you didn't hear in the group, if you do the VIP, you can ask those questions. Ashley says, set us up to win. Yes, in 2022 and y'all and beyond and beyond. We've got special surprises for you. I can't share it with you because then it wouldn't be a surprise.
That's right. It would be a surprise.
Right. And so we've got special prizes to share with you. We also have vendor space. So if you're a vendor and you've got a product that you want to showcase, there's a vendor information. We'll put that in the chat. Once we get off of here, you can get it in the chat on any of the Facebook spaces. There's, you know, you can become a vendor on the Friday evening. So guys, I'm so super excited. Oh, here we go. So here's the vendor information. Thanks, Ashley. There's the vendor information. Make sure that you get that you waste no time. And listen, make it a girls' night out. What's his name, Mary?
Jax. This is Jax. Jax.
Hey, Jax. Hey, Jax. He's like, okay, I'm ready for you. I'm ready for
Well, my son adopted him when he was in college. He rescued him.
you. Okay.
And so when he moved back home, he became mine. And even though now my son has moved out, he's still mama's dog. He's mama's dog now. This is my baby.
Is it John that adopted him?
No, Will. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's right. You did say that. You did say that. Okay. Oh, yes. We have, I think, a poodle and a German shepherd. Aussie doodle.
There's Jaxie.
He says, whoa, I'm on camera.
Yeah.
Anyway, I won't keep you guys too long, but there's the information. There's the information. It will be posted in chat so you can see it at any time. Make sure and make it a girlfriend's night. Make it a girlfriend's night.
That would be great.
If the men want to come in, they're invited to come as well. Just get your tickets, y'all. And I can't wait to see you. Can't wait to celebrate with you. Can't wait to meet all of you, to love on you.
Me too.
Us to amplify our voices together and to grow together and get tools to where we're set up to win. Because why? It's our time. This is our time to soar. This is the time. So don't wait any longer. Love you guys. Take care. God bless you.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Take care, everybody.